All right, welcome to the show. We're finally down to the last two teams who will battle it out for supremacy in the UAAP men's basketball tournament. Kevin Cambao and the De La Salle Green Archers will face Malik Diouf and the UP Fighting Maroons in the finals of Season 86, which begins on Wednesday at the Mall of Asia Arena. And here to provide a breakdown of what to expect is basketball analyst Gerald Lim. Bao, go right ahead.
Gerald, first of all, thank you very much for joining us again. And of course, UP making it to the finals in the expense of Ateneo. Let's focus first on that particular matchup and bring out the numbers from that game. I think masasabi natin, Gerald, na low-scoring yung game.
That's right.
Bakit kaya? Bakit naging low-scoring laban?
That's right. So it was a really cold game for both teams, and you can attribute that to the fact that they really prepared well against each other. They've been up against each other for the past two finals, and they really know each other's system and how they move the ball, the key players, so they really prepared well.
You take a look at the rebounding here, and UP has clear advantage there. Sure, a bit of advantage in terms of assists and points in the paint. But then what happened in that rebounding battle that really pushed that over Ateneo?
The main thing here is that Joseph Obasa got into foul trouble early in the ball game, and it sustained all throughout. That's why UP was able to capitalize on that on their sides with Malik Diouf down below. That's why they have a huge rebounding advantage. That's a 17 rebound difference.
You know, you talk about Malik Diouf, so let's bring out his numbers here. When you take a look at Malik Diouf and his impact on this UP team, you can understand just why he is just one of the guys here. With 16 of those rebounds there, what did Malik Diouf do? It felt like he grew into the game, or was one of the more consistent ones for UP at least. What happened there?
During their second half surge, they realized that Joseph Obasa was not there. So Malik Diouf had the size advantage, and Coach Gold and the rest of the Fighting Maroons decided to really look for him down below. And aside from that, he was really active, Pao.
Yeah.
He brought in the energy for them and grabbed those offensive rebounds and converted.
You know, Jerry Abellano, we also have to mention him because nandito na siya sa graphic natin eh. But apart from that, 9 points and 5 rebounds in a game wherein scoring was hard to come by. How big was his contribution in particular?
He was very big in the fourth quarter, especially in the fourth quarter. They were going toe-to-toe heading into the fourth, and it was him that really made those clutch baskets, those big baskets to get them ahead of Ateneo.
And of course, again, just a moment here for the Ateneo Blue Eagles, because Ateneo now out, but still with a lot of hope moving forward when you take a look at their roster. See, we're not going to be too mean to Ateneo, but then how hopeful should the Ateneo fans be for this team going into the next season?
There's a lot of optimism around it, especially Coach Tab mentioned how this season is like a bridge to success for them. As we know, they lost a lot of key guys. They went through a lot of controversies during the off-season. So it was really tough for them. But for them to still make the Final Four, win that playoff match, that's really big. And heading into the off-season, that's something that they can carry on with them. That experience, especially to their young guys.
Yeah, it felt like there were some times during the season wherein Ateneo may not have had the, I guess, the maturity or the experience required to go over certain humps. But then when you take a look at Ateneo, are there any players in particular that you feel can take the next big step in getting ready for next season and making Ateneo a finals contender again?
Aside for their main guys, Chris Kuhn and Kai, it's really Ian Espinosa and Jared Brown. So these guards, they're first-year guards in the UAAP. So that experience for them is really crucial, especially heading to their next season.
Now, talking about the season here, back to UP as we go back to talk about the maroon side of Katipunan. Malik Diouf in particular, we'll take a look at some of the numbers that happened throughout the season, alongside the numbers of Francis Lopez as well. When you take a look at these guys and what to expect, especially going to the finals, I want to talk about the plus-minus first, the 109 for Francis Lopez. Okay, how insane is this 109 in particular?
It really goes to show how efficient Francis Lopez is for the Fighting Maroons whenever he's on the floor. There's a lot of positives. He brings energy, defense, and also the fast break plays. And of course, as we know, what we like about him is his highlights.
Yeah.
His slam dunks and all these things.
Yeah, I was going to bring up the energy there of Francis Lopez. But then again, now Malik Diouf in particular, are we not talking about him enough in general? Because the numbers that he has here are some of the most impressive in the UAP this season.
That's right. Maybe some people are forgetting that Malik Diouf is the MVP of the last season. So all the talk today is is with Kevin Kembao as he leads the MVP race. But Malik Diouf has really upped his numbers, averaging 14.6 points and 13.4 rebounds. So that's been really big for Coach Gold.
Do you feel that Malik and Francis Lopez in particular are starting, we talk about LaSalle peaking at the right time. Are UP slowly finding their groove as well going into that finals matchup?
Right, so I believe it's going to be momentum for the Green Archers versus experience for the Fighting Maroons. The UP squad has definitely the finals experience, having gone there 3 times in the last 4 seasons. But more than that, these 2 players will really play crucial in trying to stop Kevin Kembao and all the tall other front line of the Green Archers. So it's really up to them to control the boards and control those big guys.
Now, where you mentioned the word crucial there, and of course, we saw some of the highlights there, Francis Lopez and Malik Diouf. When you take a look at the role of Malik Diouf in particular, you mentioned controlling the rebounds and making sure that the presence is there.
Right.
Just how important is it for UP to get the best out of Malik in particular if they want to stop a guy like Kevin Kembao, who is leading the race for that MVP?
He really needs to first bring the energy, but second is really to take care of his fouls. Because as we know, we don't want him to be on the bench against the tough big men of the Green Archers with Mike Phillips, Raven Cortez, and Kevin Kembao.
Yeah, you say we, but then us Lasallians would rather see Malik Diouf on the bench. And of course, Francis Lopez with all his highlights and his energy. You know that something is always bound to happen when he is on the floor. But boom, I think that we're going to wrap this one up here for UP in particular, but we're ready to move on.
How much do we love Pinoy sports? With all our heart, all the time. Download Pilipinas Live now.